Alaikum. Oh, good morning to our esteemed viewers. Salam alaikum to our Muslim friends and family. I don't know how to say that. No, it's Barika the Jumat, something like that. You know, we are Jumat. Barika Jumat. You know. Good morning. It's a beautiful one of Family and Values. Yes, you're surprised seeing me dressed in my Islamic attire. This is because today is Friday and it's Ramadan period. So we decided to tell our Muslim friends and family, because we've had a few of them here as guests, that we are with you in spirit as you do your fasting, you know, as you're fasting, and we're also fasting with you. Welcome to Family and Values. My name still remains Joy Abu. Today promises to be a very peaceful, exciting Friday. Of course, the rain came down last night to calm the weather, the day for us. So today's day is going to be a cool one. The conversation is going to be one that will be very interesting. Trust us, we like making our Fridays relaxable so that you enjoy as you go into the weekend. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. You know, sometimes in life, there are certain things you just have to let go. And this is saying to all commuters on the road. When you enter a vehicle, it's not your private vehicle. When they say shift, please adjust. Some of you don't like adjusting, and I don't know why. Share love. You see someone claiming one seat, and when you come down, another person enters. That's to tell you how life is. Once you step down, life still goes on. It's another beautiful day to tell your creator thank you for the grace to see a beautiful day. And yes, having these pretty ladies on your screen this morning is something you would always not want to miss. I'm not in the studio alone. Today somebody wants to show me the other side, but you know, when you have Abu as your surname, you now activate I don't want to say the Islam, you activate the foundation of that Abu. I have to go and dig where is this Abu coming from. That's why I started by greeting you, salam alaikum. So we have a lady seated in the building and she's trying to show me that she's let me not say called Muslim, she was born into a Muslim family. Good morning, welcome. Yes, greet them. We know, greet them the way you want to greet them. Good morning, welcome.
Barika Jumat.
Barika Jumat to you too.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
No. Alaikum salam.
Okay, alaikum salam.
Okay. So I can even go for that, but let me just stop there. For people like us who are just babies in that area, a beautiful Barika Jumat to all our brothers and sisters in Islam, and I want to say Lama me to all the prayers that you have been praying. I pray the Lord will receive them and it shall have testimonies, inshallah. So thank you for being here. It's another beautiful and a great morning. My name is Remain Adejoke. I had battle rats. Adribi David. I still remain that you know. My friends call me Olori AJ, and I'm so proud to be one of those people doing those fasts. I'm so proud. I'm so loved. I'm so appreciative of the fact that we are here and you are there, and God has kept us. God has sustained us, like my beautiful Joy from Ayoboy shared. We love you and we appreciate all that you've been doing, staying tuned to all the gifts you've given to us during this Ramadan period. We're not taking it for granted. And to all our sponsors and the winners, good luck to you as you continue to win. Joy has been eyeing that laundry. Unfortunately, she can't. Terms and conditions apply to her, so she can. So you can join us as we continue with Family and Values on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, most especially, and Twitter is all out for you, and our YouTube channel too. So don't forget. My handle is Remini Lori Adejoke and David on Facebook.
Yes, you know, somebody decided to activate the prayerful aspect of it, but I'm not going to say much about it because today I want to be on the peaceful side, no violence. I'm not looking for anybody's trouble. I'm putting on white. White represents peace. So I'm on the side of peace. Today promises to be a very interesting and exciting one because the topic we are discussing, I'm sure most mothers that are watching right now will say, yes, we've been waiting for this one. We have a wonderful guest already seated. We'll go on a quick mini feature. When we return, we'll continue our conversation. We'll see you on the other side.
A father and daughter relationship is unconditional and unwavering. Fathers create a safe space where daughters can freely express their thoughts, dreams, and emotions. Research has shown that father-daughter relationship is a powerful force that can shape a girl's life in profound ways. A study by the National Fatherhood Initiative found that daughters who have involved fathers are 90% likely to engage in substance abuse and other risky behaviors. The mother can be jealous of her daughter for many reasons: her looks, her youth, material possessions, accomplishment, education, and even the young girl's relationship with the father. An unhealthy father-daughter relationship has unpredictable moods and exhibits destructive behavior. He struggles to control his anger and takes his stress out on his daughter, resulting in physical, verbal, and sexual abuse. He is selfish and doesn't care about his daughter's need. Fathers feel a deep and unconditional love for their daughters. They experience a sense of responsibility to protect and provide for them. Fathers may also feel a strong sense of responsibilities, and they want to be a role model and guide to empower their daughters to become confident, independent, and booming individuals. According to studies, a father's influence on the life of a daughter has a significant impact on her psychological development. Confidence, clarity, stronger self-esteem, and a deeper knowledge of who they are and what they want are all traits of those girls who have a healthy relationship with their father. Her behavior towards other men in her life is likewise influenced by this link. Normal, unhealthy mothers are proud of their children and want them to shine. But a narcissistic mother may perceive her daughter as a threat. If attention is drawn away from the mother, the child suffers retaliation, put-downs, and punishment. The mother can be jealous of her daughter for many reasons. Her possessions also. This jealousy is particularly difficult for the daughter as it carries a double message, which is do well so that mother is proud, but don't do too well or you outshine her. The love between mother and daughter is different from father-daughter love. Mothers should understand that if they get their relationship with their daughters right, then they will have a lifelong friendship that will be rewarding for both women. The father's relationship will be slightly more distant when the daughter is an adult.
Come back. Yes, what an interesting topic. Well, you see, today's topic, most mothers, I'm sure will understand that it's something that we need to discuss. Father-daughter relationship and its effect on mothers. There is always this silent battle between the father, the daughter, and the mother when it comes to love. Especially when the girl child is born, there is always this, I won't call it transfer of love. I don't just understand where that's suddenly you'll be asking yourself that, am I still important in this? Am I part of you people? The way they will do their this thing. Today we have our guest, someone that will do justice to this topic, because he's a father. He's an educationist, so you understand where he's going to bring the balance in from. And he has a girl child also, so you understand we are bringing full package to you. We have Chekweta, am I right? Chinedu in the building. Like I said earlier on, he's an educationist and he is the CEO of Monash Trading Services. I think I got that one correctly. welcome. And he's also, let me add this, the current PTA chairman of Lee Valley Schools. So you understand that he's in the right position to have this conversation with us. Welcome to the show. Let me clap for you. Thank you for honoring our invite.
It's good to be here.
I remember when I sent it to you, the first thing you just said, "Oh, I'll be there," and I was like, "Yes, I want one jacket." Okay, now today's topic. I'm sure even at home you've had a little bit of this side grumbling from mommy, like, what is it, you and okay. Now, how do you describe the relationship between fathers and their daughters?
Oh, okay. To start with, you girls, you ladies are looking beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure Pastor is going to give us something. I know Chief Ojo will not
disappoint us.
Okay. Actually, good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewers. And the topic today is very, very interesting. Complex. It's very
complex.
Because we think when they say father, daughter, we think it's very simple. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Why? Is because originally, mothers, we talk about mother-daughter relationship because mothers are seen to be the role model. They are seems to be the ones that nurture, train, raise kids emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. They are the ones that do everything. Fathers were just seen as providers. They just go make money and take care of the home. So there were no much relationship, going on between the father and even the kids generally, not just the daughter. So, but I call those days, I personally call them old school authoritarians. Old school authoritarians. They are nice. They are nice. They are gentle. Those old school, they are nice. They are gentle. They are caring, but they are very strict. They demand so much obedience, so much respect. Unlike these modern days, we young people now are beginning to have what they call conversational relationships. We allow the girl child to be very expressive. So we have conversations. Not like those days we say, oh, just stay there, just do this, just do that. Whatever they say is what you do. So that's why I call them old school, authoritarians. So the relationship between the father and the daughter is a very interesting one. We know that the society we're living in is changing. And there's a saying that as the society changes, it becomes more complex. And when it becomes more complex, the level of moral decadence increases. So families are facing a lot of challenges, most especially with the advent of social media. Technology is doing, I don't know, maybe more harm than good to families. Okay, so our children are going wayward, not listening, becoming what do I call them, perverse generation. They don't listen, they don't want to obey instructions. So that is what calls for this father coming in, not just to provide money, to begin to assist in raising these kids. So now we are not omitting the fathers from the equation any longer. We are now getting them involved in raising family. I tell people sometimes I praise single mothers a lot, because it's not even easy to raise a child as co-parents. Functional family that the father and mother, they even do, it's not even easy to raise a child. You talk more when you have just one single person. It's not easy at all. So father and mother need to come together to see where they're going to raise this kid. So it's a very interesting one. Very interesting one. So the generation we live in now give room for parents, for fathers to come in and assist, help in raising these kids. And their place in doing this is very unique, very special. According to research, the recent research, modern research has shown that a father, when you have an emotional present father or physically present father in the life of a child, it enhances or boosts the child's self-esteem, self-confidence. It helps the child to form opinions in our love life, especially in our love life. Okay, when you have a dysfunctional relationship between the father and the daughter, it tends to affect the girl even at old age when she gets married. Even making choices of the husband is even a problem. So you see, it's something that it's a build-up, something that has to start from the scratch, from the beginning. The father has to take up this responsibility from the beginning. So there are so many advantages. Let's talk about safety, for instance. There's no doubt mothers, we know we have mommy's daughters. Mothers protect, they care, they protect them. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We have no doubt. I give it to the mothers. But there's a certain kind of protection that fathers give. There's a natural instinct that once a man becomes a father, he begins to see his wife and his children as an extension of himself. So he becomes overly protective. So more like a king protecting his bride and his family.
You are going into my other question.
Oh, okay.
You are erupting a question.
Oh, okay.
By doing that. So
Okay.
many people ask you.
Okay.
Why is there a shift of love the moment a girl child is born into the family? From a wife, this attention is from you. You're just talking about safety. Is it just all about safety? Or why is that particularly, everything about that girl makes a lot of meaning, a lot of difference, a lot of concentration and all that? Is it just about protecting the child or any other thing is attached to that love?
Well, like I said now, if you remember what I said that is a natural instinct that once a man becomes a father, he's beginning to see his children as a further extension of himself. The way he views himself is the way he views his kids.
But with a girl child, it's different.
Now, with a girl child, it's different because that is a natural instinct, really. Because at home, you always say boys are tilted towards their mother, and girls are tilted towards. It's a natural instinct. But kids can be very manipulative, especially the girl child. They can be very, very manipulative if you're not very careful. No, they have this natural instinct to be manipulative, the girl child. So most times, I think the problem is there are certain things that we need to avoid at home. Once the father and the mother are not on the same page, they're having arguments, disagreements and all that, that girl gets to know about it. That is why you need to keep your fight away from your kids. Because once the girl understands the fact that, my father and my mother are not on the same page, they're having issues. That's why they're very manipulative. They come in.
She tends to move to the father's side.
And she becomes a partner. She starts acting as a partner to the father. That's what happened. She become excessively nice, over nice to the father. That's emotional blackmail. Yeah?
Daddy, you want me to let you?
So she becomes the one. She now has emotional blackmail.
Yes.
From work.
Yes.
I'm giving me food.
Exactly. So they do this a lot. They're very manipulative. So that is why fathers need to be very careful. Especially these young, fathers. We need to be very careful. We need to know where to draw the line. I really love this topic, especially when they talk about how it affects the mother. Okay, because that is where it begins to affect the mother. Because at that point, there is when the mother is saying no, the father is saying yes. If the girl says, I want ice cream, the father will buy. Because she is fighting the mother. He is fighting the mother. So the girl becomes more like a partner. So whatever, I want iPhone, he will buy. Because he wants to use that opportunity to
show the others.
You understand? So it's a problem. So we have to be careful about these things. So when decisions are made, I would advise that they come together, they keep their differences aside. As couple, keep your differences aside to be able to make the decision as one unit as it affects the girl. If not, it's going to cause a lot of havoc.
Okay, I want to ask this question now. Sometimes I've seen fathers that once they have their girl child in their hands, it's before they'll say, I want male children. Now I've heard fathers say, I want all girls. And we've had guests that have all girls and they'll tell, I love my girls. And once that child is born and is a girl child, automatically it's like, I don't know, they just move one part of their hearts and just give the girl. Now at what point does the love grow and become stronger? Like you just said, girls are manipulative. Because I know, at least the little I know about you don't joke with your girl. At least she's one person that even if you're anywhere and she calls, you're Superman to appear. So at what point in their stage of growing up did that love get to that point of so strong?
Girls, ladies, naturally tender.
I love that, naturally tender.
Naturally loving. When they see you, sometimes I come back home feeling very down, tired, emotionally drained. My son will just greet me and walk past. That's the truth. But a girl will wait, stop, and say, Daddy, are you okay? Welcome, Daddy. Give me a hug. But my son will not do all this. Welcome, Dad.
I'm working.
So it's natural. You look at it. What will you take much attention to? So that's why I say naturally, girls are loving. So, but you have to know where to draw the line, because if you're not very careful, she will become manipulative, like I said. Yes, she will now know. She will start taking advantage of the fact that, oh, you have this soft spot for her.
Okay.
You know, so that.
It's time for us to go to on our word of marvel, and when we return, we'll continue the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We have been discussing father-daughter relationship and its effect on mothers. You know, I would say anything, but I was a daddy's girl. Let me leave it at that. Okay, so we have our Zoom guest on standby. She will be joining us in this conversation. Let's hear from the ladies part. Let's not be like we are partial. At least we've heard from Mr. Chinedu. Let's also hear from her. She is in Kechi Emmanuel. She's a relationship and marriage therapist. Good morning, Kechi. She's joining us live from Lagos. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you look beautiful this morning, I must say. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on Family and Values. Thank you. We are discussing father-daughter relationship and its effects on mothers. I would like you to tell us from the mother's angle or from the mother's aspect, how do you think this relationship between the father and daughter has affected mothers in general?
Okay, so thank you for having me, Nkechi Emmanuel Layode, actually, because Nkechi Emmanuel is an entirely different person. But I thank you for having me this morning. Then I want to get to your question rightly. When you say how has it affected the mothers, could you help me break it down a bit more, so that I understand what you're saying clearly? I'm not sure I got that. When you say how has it affected mother, if you could help me break it down, if you don't mind.
Okay, so I'm asking the father-daughter relationship. Now we know that in some families it has caused a bit of jealousy from the mother's angle. That's where we are looking at. How has it affected the mother in terms of the jealousy, the relationship between her and her husband? Like our guest was saying, when there is a conflict in the family, you see the daughters taking side with their fathers and becoming partners in peppering the mothers. Let me use that word. So from your own angle, how do you think it has affected the mother negatively? Let me put it that way. Let me use that word, negatively.
So honestly, I'm going to be coming from a different perspective, because typically in a functional home, there's supposed to be no jealousy in that sense when it comes to either party showing love to the children, whether it's the father or the mother. And in this particular case, we're talking about the father. This typically is supposed to already get started from the pre-marriage and marriage part of the man and wife coming together before they even decide to start giving birth to children or adopting children, or whichever way they want to get children, whatever way they want to get children into their home. So for me, I mean, I understand. Now let me speak about the things, the people who experience maybe negative emotions and energy. It's not typically normal in a functional family, because the mother is supposed to be happy that her daughter and her father are having that particular bond. But in a case where there seems to be jealousy or there seems to be unhealthy emotions, then they can have conversations to dissect what may be wrong. Is it that the father is taking a certain kind of parenting approach that doesn't seem to put both parties on the same page? These are the kind of questions and conversations they can start having. It's important for me to put this out there, because I know that some of these things have been normalized, that, it's okay. Of course, I mean, there are things that a father can do that can make the mother a bit jealous. Like, hey, I mean, I'm going to do this for our daughter as well, or it's going to be my turn soon. You'll see. On the lighter note, that can work. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The father goes out of his way to get something outstanding for the daughter, and then the mother is like, why did you do this? You didn't even tell me about it, and they're laughing about it. So yes, on that part, when it comes to that side of things, it's totally okay. They can laugh about it. But if it now becomes an underlying issue that the mother is typically always jealous when something is happening in terms of bonding, in this particular instance, between the father and the daughter, then it's actually a challenge. It's not a thing to be happy about. It's a thing that they need to discuss. Because typically in a healthy home, it is very important that especially a daughter has that father bonding the same way a mother should have that daughter bonding, and then same thing with the son. Father son should have their bonding, daughter mother should have their bonding as well. So that's how I would like to start out. I'm happy to take further questions or clarifications on what I started to share.
Hello, NK. Nkechi, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. But can you hear me? Okay. So I want to find out from you, at what stage or at what point can we say that the relationship between a father and a daughter should be questionable? At what point, at what stage do we now say we need to question the fact that the daughter and the father, the relationship need to be questioned?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Well, if it is a home where the mother is alive, because we may not necessarily have any matrix in a home where the mother is no more. It's just all the love that is available is from the father. The father has to be the mother and the father. So we can't really measure in that instance. But it's in a home where the mother is alive and present. So when it looks as if the daughter doesn't want to have anything with her mom, that's one. Number two, when it looks as if the father and the daughter are beginning to talk about their mom behind her back, that is totally wrong, because as the father, you have the obligation first to your wife, actually, before your children. So if you start allowing things like gossip, reporting, you go and report mommy to daddy, that is what mommy did, then it's already a red flag, because absolutely you are being the one, and the father and the mother should be having conversation about it. If anything, they should be the ones talking about behind your back, not you talking about your one of the spouse or your mother behind you, her back. So when things like that continue to occur, it can happen once, twice. The father can say, hey, you know what, let me talk to your mother, but this is not right, you shouldn't do this and all that. But when it now becomes a pattern, it now becomes something that is reoccurring, that is actually where the danger zone starts to come up. But absolutely nothing wrong with, say, a daughter wanting to be close to her father. No. As long as there's a healthy with her mother. And also, a third point I would say, as long as the father is also not putting the daughter against the mother, in the sense that he now looks as if he's doing that so that she can be favored towards him. That's manipulation is now being introduced at that particular point in time, when it looks like the father is also trying to feed the daughter. Don't mind your mother, this is what she said, which we have in the African culture, unfortunately, as very normal. We see father say, don't mind your mother, this is what she did, this is what she did, this is what she didn't do. Then we have mothers as well who also do things like that. Don't mind your father, this is what he did, this is what he didn't do. All of those things are not healthy, are not functional. I know that that's what happens, but they are not necessarily functional. Now we're learning.
Okay, I guess was talking about manipulation, how the girl child can be so manipulative, when it comes to conflict, when there's a little bit of conflict in the family. Before we ask him, I'd like to ask you, we've had extreme cases where the relationship between the father and mother gets to the point where there is an abuse, and then you have molestation. And of course, when you listen to news here and there, you hear fathers molesting. In fact, there was a case some years back where the man said he just couldn't leave the fact that the daughter was so beautiful and didn't want any man to marry her. So he decided, to put her in the family line. Now, are you going to blame the mother for not taking steps in curtailing that relationship when it became too much? You know, there is an extent you will see the relationship and you'll be like, no, 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 no. I've had fathers say, oh, their daughters sleep by my side, my girl child always sleeps with me. And do you think at that point, mothers should come in and say, this is not right? This, no matter how you, and they say, it's my daughter, no matter how you love your child, there should be boundaries. Do you think that at that point women should come in, or are they going to say it's because you're jealous?
Thank you very much. That's a really, really good question. So there should be boundaries. In fact, I don't know but I want to believe you may have been aware of it. Some weeks ago, something happened with a popular Nigerian celebrity where there was a situation where this person was dancing with the daughter, and there was just a lot of talks and perspective regarding that. This is because typically there should be boundaries when it comes to the kind of love and affection that you show to this person, to your daughter in this instance. When I mean there should be boundaries, there should be no boundaries to showing unconditional love, affection. But there should be boundaries in the sense that you need to know that this person is not your spouse. This person is not your girlfriend. This person is not your wife. This person is not a replacement of your late wife, to those who maybe have lost their wives. So the boundaries of feeding in of sexuality, or starting to think that you own this person. Let's even start from that. When you start thinking that you own a child, you are the beginning of you are the owner of their destinies, you are going to be able to control them. It's already a red flag. You're supposed to already know that you are privileged to birth this child and to help nurture this child into their own destiny. That's the foundational basic one-on-one for parenting. You are not the owner of your child's soul. You are the custodian. You don't own, nobody owns anybody's destiny. Even if you waited for 15 years to give birth, that's the blunt truth. So when you start when you start with the mindset, when you start having that mindset, first of all, that you own this person, you want to start having affectionate touch or relations with this person, and then you start manifesting or even testing it physically, then it's a red flag. And to ask, yes, the mother, if she's able, should actually start interfering. Should start interfering at what's going on. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm noticing, and possibly even bring in a therapist, a mediator, anybody that they respect that can come into the situation. But you see, the thing is, I would rather that, which is why we're all learning here, that people do not allow it get to that level.
Ellen Kechi, I want to ask a question. Can you hear me? I want to ask I can hear you, but once in a while try to slow down so that we can come in to ask you whatever we want to chip in as well. So the question I want to ask you is this. As much as father wants to dot on their daughters because they believe that, many father believes that I need to protect my girl, she's a girl, she's not a boy, she cannot fight for herself, she is tender, she's fragile, I love her so much and I don't want anyone to take advantage of her. In this process, some men go to an extent of making sure that everything that has to do with that girl child is well protected, insured, let me put it that way. But to the mom, because she will not be getting the same thing as, you know, she believes that this is too much. Is she the only child in the house? Do you think that the mom needs to feel jealous, feel uncomfortable at a particular point in time? Maybe the father decides to say, okay, for my daughter, because she'll be getting married, she will not be bearing my name again, I want to do certain things for her because I have more boys than the girls. Is it a bad thing? And should the mother feel threatened or feel like the father is favoring the girl more than the boys? That's my final questions as we wrap up with you.
Okay, so it's not a bad thing if the father is giving the best to his girl, as long as it doesn't come across as inequality to the other children in the instance that he has other children. It is possible that this father has this or loves his daughter a little bit more because she's the only girl. Nothing wrong with doting on her, nothing wrong with loving up on her, nothing wrong with wanting to be there for important seasons and parts of her life. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, number one, I already shared, is let's make sure that it's not looking like inequality in the midst of the other children. And how can you do this? You have to, as a parent, make sure that you're on the journey of learning, of being in the university of parenting. There are parenting courses out there now. Nobody has any excuse anymore. This is 2024. So if you don't know, you get to know, or you find out and learn about how you can know. But regarding the mother being jealous, I would say that if she starts being intimidated or jealous, it most likely would come as a result of not having a close relationship with the father. Because if the mother loves her husband, has a close relationship with the father of this child, and she understands this bond, or she has any problem with it, she can easily have a conversation with the father to try to understand things a bit more where there are gray areas. So it is possible that at some point in time, some women may feel intimidated or feel left out. Then you can have a conversation with your husband to balance things up.
Hello, Nkechi, can you hear us? Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. Our time is fast spent and we need to run. Thank you. We really appreciate your time. We're wishing you a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you so very much. That was Nkechi Nkechi Manuel, and she's a relationship and marriage therapist. Okay, back to you. Now, my question to you is, where do we set the boundaries when it comes to father-daughter relationship? You've read cases of abuses here and there, and that's the extreme love the father will tell you, I have for my child. So where do we set boundaries? Where do you think, even you as a father, you see and say, no, this is becoming... let me put this to you. There was one celebrity that said something, that she stopped hugging the father the day she hugged the father and the father had an erection. And that was where she stopped hugging her dad. So where do we set the boundaries?
Okay. Like I said the other time, your daughter is your daughter, not your partner. Okay? Your daughter is your daughter, not your partner. And what happens most times is that most fathers do, at a point, start leaning on their daughters for emotional support. Even advice. Especially these things happen especially when they are not on the same page with their wife, when they are having issues, when they are having conflicts. They start depending on their daughters for advice. They are leaning on them for emotional support. I think that is where this abuse usually comes. Let me tell you what happened one time. I used to have a friend that he had issue with the wife. And what happened was that he now started confiding on the daughter. He will call the daughter and tell the daughter terrible things about the wife. That I see your mother is not a good woman. Your mother is this, your mother is that, your mother, you will talk bad about.
And they are still together.
Now, yes. What happened was that at that point, the man didn't realize that he was pitting the child against the mother. The daughter will start seeing the father as a fun parent. My dad is fun, my dad is loving, my dad is... And now starting hitting to a very large extent the mother, seeing the mother as a punisher, as a wicked person. That is what happens at that point. So you are beginning to lean on that child for support. And that's where the abuse comes in. Thus, when you say somebody the girl hugged the father and the father had an... See, it did not just start that day. The father and the girl had some kind of... He had started having some kind of connection with the lady, with the girl before that particular day. And this is unconsciously. It happens unconsciously. Okay, so there should be a red line in doing this. There should be a red line when you're loving or showing love or whatever it is to your daughter. It's beautiful to relate very well with your daughter, but there should be a red line. Okay, because if you do that, it has positive and negative effect. Okay, if it's positive when it's nurturing. Okay, when it is nurturing, it's positive to the wife, to the woman. it's positive. At that point, he releases all stress because the girl will be helping her to do some domestic work and all this stuff. So it's positive at that point because the man is helping to raise the girl to become a better person. So it's positive. But it becomes negative when it causes stress, causes a lot of conflict, causes a lot of emotional torture to the woman. It becomes negative. So we need to know where to draw the line. In US, I don't know about Nigeria because we have data gaps.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria we don't have very reliable data, so it's always difficult to post statistics here. But I can talk about US. In US now, about 93% from research. Now about 93% of child abuse was done by someone close to the girl, to the victim, someone close to the victim. And I think about 34% was done by a relative.
A relative.
And 80% of these victims are girls, are females.
Yes.
So which means that the higher percentage of rape and abuse come from home. That is from father, uncle, cousins,
and all that. Let me push the question I pushed to Nkechi, to you.
Yeah.
Do you think the mother needs to feel threatened, feel not comfortable with the fact that I have boys? Why is it only the girl that you are ensuring her life, you're putting so much emphasis on? Apart from being fragile, you want to make sure she's safe and all that. Why is it only that? Should the woman, should your wife, friends, should she feel uncomfortable?
Yes, everybody should feel uncomfortable, not just the wife. Even you yourself should feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because we are living in a world of equality. Everybody is talking about equality.
But
boy, girls.
will not look at it whether it's equality or not, because he believes the girl will leave and go get married to a man. But the boys will always be there. The boys are going to take my name. Most of them will need to enjoy my property more. She's going to get married into another family. So some men take it upon themselves to start preparing and start planning for their daughter.
Yeah, the biggest problem we have in our society today is that most of the attentions are paid on the girl child. We are leaving the boy.
See,
let me tell you, a society will be better if we can even pay more attention to the boys.
Yes.
That's the truth.
Yes.
So when we talk about raising, parenting, every child is unique. The boys are unique, girls are unique. Give the girls the attention they need and give the boys the attention they need. It has to be equal. In as much as, like I said, that girls can be manipulative, like my daughter, she can be manipulative sometimes, but I know. But I try to be very conscious of it. So I know.
To be wise.
I try to be wise. That doesn't stop me from still loving my boys as I should.
Try not to.
So a woman should feel threatened. That's the simple truth. You should be watching out. You can't go to sleep and assume, because that's what happened when this rape thing happened. You go to sleep and assume nothing will happen. You have to pay attention and monitor that relationship. As a woman, you have to monitor that relationship. The moment you see your daughter performing the roles you are supposed to perform as a mother, then you bring caution.
I love that.
Anyway, sorry to cut you short. Regarding one of our topics that we got a message, forgiveness. We had this Blessing Uba said that unforgiveness is really affecting marriages. Marrying a toxic partner who is always quarreling, even if you keep quiet, pretend not to react. What do we do in order for the kids to see peace? Because some partner doesn't care, even if the kids hear noise. You said something about don't or watch them quarrel. What do we do to control toxic partner so it doesn't affect the kids?
In 1 second. In a minute.
Okay. Let me relate it. I will relate it to very large extent to what we're discussing. Because one of the importance of this relationship we're talking about is the father being able to, he was once a boy. The father was once a boy. So he understands values when it comes to relationships. So he is supposed to be teaching the daughter the values to look out for in getting a partner. Because these things is what happens in the marriage. These things you don't fix when she was young. It's what happens in the marriage. So that when the child, it's about making choices. She will naturally set a standard for herself. So already your father has told you the things you look out for, the things you look out for in a boy. These things are important. So that when you marry right. Okay? But if you find yourself let's assume you eventually find yourself in this situation that is toxic and fighting and infighting, please seek help. That's help people. Go counseling.
Okay. It's time for me to say, please, if you are going to the mosque, look out for your brothers and your sisters, even as we continue the Ramadan fast. I wish you the very best of this weekend, and to our sisters and brothers preparing for Easter too. A splendid Easter celebration ahead in preparation. Preparation is next week. But all well. Have a beautiful weekend.
Okay, before I round up, I'll just like, I guess, to give just 1 minute advice to our fathers out there who are overloving their daughters. Please.
Okay. Please keep loving your daughters, but don't know where to draw the line. Nowhere to draw the line.
Keep loving your daughters, nowhere to draw the line. It's been a very wonderful show from Monday till Friday. Thank you to all the crew members, to our guy, Stephen Ojo. We love you for the opportunity, for bringing values to families, to all our head of programs, Mr. Adewale, Mr. Tessin.
Yes, we are missing you.
Thank you to all the crewmen, Oga Kane, Mr. Johnson, everybody, Johnson the troublemaker,
and Oga Saki. Ramadan.
Thank you so very much for making this week a smooth one for us. We are wishing you a successful weekend ahead as we look up to Monday. Yes. My name still remains Joy Abu, and you can find me across all social media platforms at official Joy Abu. Thank you and have a splendid weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.